Hello, my friends. I am here, Denise Costello. I'm a holistic cannabis nurse, founder of The Elevated Way, where I help you live your life, you know, engaging in lifestyle medicine so that you are happy, healthy, and don't have to rely on meds and can really engage in life. And I'm here because I want to introduce you to my good friend, Erin. And I met Aaron, I don't know, a couple of years back. We have very common interests in, health, natural health, how we can stay healthy in this world, and also not just for ourselves, but how we can, you know, keep ourselves in high energy and our best version. So, what we can do is communicate that, you know, to the people that we meet, not that we are teaching them, but just by the way we live our lives, is a benefit to maybe people around us because maybe we're not tired and grumpy because we're in pain, or maybe we are tapping into our prayer life and that makes us, happy and more compassionate, at the people that we're around. So I really love, so grateful for this friendship with Aaron because I feel like we really come from, the same desires, right? In helping people, keeping ourselves in a positive, good energy so that we can be the best out in this world, right? And she has a lot of wonderful aspects and talents, but the one I recently was turned on to is her relationship coaching. And one of the things I really liked about it, which was different than other relationships, in particular with our spouses, right? And I'm in my 60s and, I'm, paying attention to how, building my strength and eating certain things as I move into this next part of my life. But, there's that component with my husband, right? We've you know, been together for 33 years. We had our 33 anniversary, and the kids are gone, and it's like he's going to be retiring soon, and we're going to have this new life together. And I was just like, oh, just like anything else, it's important to kind of brush up, and take your relationship to the next level. How do we bring it there? And what I liked about Aaron was is that, you know, I think sometimes it might be hard to bring the husbands along, in this component, especially when you don't have anything really heavy going on anyway. You're just kind of reboosting, right? Kind of like say, hey, hello, how are you again? Where do we go from here? How can we best support each other? How can we grow our marriage and bring it to that next level? And, men, this kind of style, I think, of um enhancement of your relationship, having a coaching thing isn't usually their gig, right? So I love the fact that Aaron focuses just on us. Like, we what can I do? What do I need to do to understand my communication styles or what things I'm, struggling with in a sense, and then using subconscious work. As a lifestyle medicine coach and a holistic healer, we understand the importance of our subconscious and how we can learn a lot from that. But that is running in the background. So to be able to tap into that is really powerful, I think, and I love that that is part of her approach in this coaching. And I've just really enjoyed. I've been working with Erin. I wanted to have a little brush up, of my marriage. And, it's just been fantastic. I just notice in small ways, just the way I look at my husband or relate to him, or maybe my response. But more than anything, I just feel like my nervous system is calm. I'm just feel very centered. And so I'm here to introduce you all to Erin. If any of you are maybe in that spot where you want to kind of, elevate your relationship, whether it be your marriage or a family member. I've seen working with Aaron, this has transitioned into my other relationships, and it's been a really positive experience. So that's what I would just love for you to learn a little bit more about Aaron.
Well, thank you so much for your lovely introduction. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm such a fan of you. We've been friends for a few years, and you have just always struck me as such a beautiful woman, not just on the outside, but on the inside, and that you've
Mhm.
chosen this life where you're always ready to go to the next level. You're always ready to put in the effort. And that's
Mhm.
what I saw you show up to do, more recently within your marriage, which has been awesome to get to
Yeah.
work with you.
Mhm.
So thank you for having me on. I just wanted to share with your friends and your circle here what it is I do. I'm a relationship coach and I specialize in subconscious healing. And I got into this line of work out of my own need because I was in a really difficult marriage. I've been married for 23 years now, but for about 18 of those years, it was pretty hard. I
Mhm.
experienced a lot of verbal and emotional abuse. And it took me a while to even kind of name that and figure out what was going on. And I was just doing everything to try to find help, right? I was
Mhm.
seeing lots of therapists. I was dragging my husband to marriage retreats. I was reading every self help book I could get my hands on, and nothing seemed to really be working. And I hit a point where I felt like I had to make a difficult decision. And it seemed like there was only two options: to just stay miserably married and keep our family intact, or to get divorced. And so I chose to file for divorce in October of 2020. And I'm telling you, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done, especially going into that season of the year where we're going into holidays and all of that. Dealing with the stress of trying to figure out custody with the kids, going into like huge debt for divorce lawyers, having
Mhm.
so many family members upset with me because I was the person that made this decision. Um, it was just overwhelming, and
Mhm.
I fell into a deep depression, and I started battling suicidal thoughts. And I just hit this point where the thought in my brain was, well, if I'm going to be this miserable without him and this miserable with him, why am I doing this? Like, I'm just going to come back together with him because both sides of this are horrible. And I didn't feel like I could survive. So I reached out to my husband and asked him if he'd be willing to try again. And he said yes. And we came back together. And of course, not just but 2 short weeks after coming back together, we're right back in all of it. We had gone to Monterey, I'm over in California, to celebrate his birthday, ended up having a big fight. And I just spent that evening on the hotel bathroom floor sobbing. And
Mhm.
in that moment, I
Yeah.
felt like I got zinged with this epiphany. And it just became crystal clear that the issue was really not my husband, because he had been my focus. And that was the focus of therapy. It was him being the problem, right? But the problem was that I didn't love myself. I could see so clearly that if I truly loved myself and cared about myself, I never would have let anyone treat me this way. And I wouldn't be in this situation. So rather than focusing on my marriage, everything kind of shifted and I got laser focused on figuring out how to love myself. And the other part was I got laser focused on what wasn't working. I was like, absolutely, I'm not doing any more therapy. I'm not going to any more of these marriage retreats. I'm not reading another self help book. I was so done with all of that stuff. And I became very open to lots of alternative ways of being and thinking. And sure enough, out of nowhere, which now I know is like 100% a God thing,
Yeah.
a friend who I didn't really know very well on Facebook sends me a message saying, "Hey, do you want to do a session with me?" I was like, "I don't even know what you do, but sure." I just said, "Yeah, I'll do a session with you." And that session genuinely changed my life. And I began to work with her for the entire summer. And I started to understand that our subconscious mind has subconscious programming that is running from childhood, and it's driving all of our decisions. And every major pattern that I had in my marriage was actually stemming from childhood. I genuinely had no idea about this. And I kind of, in the same way I took to natural health, I got really excited and like geeked out learning about the subconscious mind, learning about all these amazing tools that can help us to access it and to rewire it. And the cool thing was, it was sort of like this happy accident that I wasn't expecting. In the process of me doing all of this work, my husband started to change, completely change. Our marriage totally changed. And I tell people I'm still married to the same man, but he is not the same man. And I am not the same woman. We are so different. And that is the amazing magic of when you go and you rewire your subconscious mind. It doesn't just change you, the relationships and the world around you begin to change because your perspective shifts, the patterns can't run anymore. It's amazing. So I just did a little test. I kind of thought, I wonder if this works for anybody else. So I had a few friends that weren't so happy in their marriage, and they were willing to kind of be my test dummy and walk through these steps of what I had done. And sure enough, all of them had the similar results where their husbands started changing, their marriages started changing. And I was like, this is amazing. This is not some magical wand, it's not some happy accident. It's like a repeatable program that you can take these steps to actually put into action to shift your relationships. And I, from that space, I went and got certified as a hypnotherapist. I've studied so many different subconscious tools, and I put it all together in a package where I help women who are not so happy in their marriage, or they're just wanting their marriage to be a level above, right? And we use all of these subconscious tools to shift and change patterns and get to have a life that we love with a man that we love. Because oftentimes we sort of go from this feeling like soulmates, right? And shifting to feeling like roommates after you've been married for a really long time. And
Mhm.
I'm just all about helping women get it back. Like, let's get it back to where we're feeling much more connected, much more like soulmates, and having joy and excitement
Yeah.
and adventure. So that is what I do. And if you're listening to this and you're resonating with it, I would love for you to just come and check it out. You can either send me a DM through Denise, being connected here, or you can head over. I have a website called erinjeanlove.com, and you can find more about what I do. So thank you, Denise, for having me on and for sharing this with your friends and your circle.
You are so welcome. And I'm just so happy to share what you offer because it's beautiful, beautiful work. And you're helping so many people. And I am a big proponent of taking care of the home, the family unit is so powerful and it is so important. And if we can, be able to save marriages or at least like, make people happier, we know our kids will be happier, our little home life will be happier, and then it just is going to grow from there. So beautiful, beautiful work that you do. So happy that you're my friend. Yeah.
Thank you. Have a great
Yes.
day.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.